Some of my favourite areas to explore in the Zelda games are deserts, but today one question crossed my mind. What makes them so good? Well, I found that there's a little trick used in each of the desert areas to make them stand out. For our first example, let's go to the vast Lanayru Desert in Skyward Sword. I'm gonna be honest, when I first got to this stage in the game, I thought, well, this is boring, but then one thing changed my mind instantly. The time shift stones. Being able to swap from a dry, bleak land to a thriving community is an amazing idea, and this is fully utilised through both of its dungeons. And then, sprucing it up even more with a sea you can sail across with these stones is another great concept, and it turned a forgettable area into one full of creative ideas. Now let's go all the way back to Link's first 3D adventure, Ocarina of Time. This is a little different to our last example because there's no particular thing that makes it stand out, if you take one look at it, that is. The idea that I loved about this one was that you explored a place with people who weren't necessarily on your side, and the fact that after you finish the Gerudo fortress they become more accepting of Link is a really cool part of the story. It also has a brilliant dungeon to go with it in my opinion, a training ground where you can progress through, and pretty awesome music. Next up though is Breath of the Wild's Gerudo Desert, which actually does something that I haven't mentioned yet. It takes ideas that worked before and it puts its own spin on it. The Yiga hideout is pretty similar to the Gerudo Fortress, being a stealth section where you fight skilled warriors, and the comedic Master Koga was totally unexpected on my first playthrough. And disguising yourself as a Gerudo to get into their town is also pretty funny too. Seeing people's reactions and exploring the place that would usually be off limits is so cool. And to top that all off, it has a more difficult but really well designed divine beast, along with great characters, story, and music of course. So what is it from these three examples that makes deserts so good and memorable? Well, when you step into a desert area, what you might see is a long, empty stretch of land with unbearable heat. But the fact that in each of these games they are brimming with great ideas and mechanics, it actually surprised me how well designed they were. So if you want to see more stuff like this, you can check out the pretty shocking results to what the worst armor is in Breath of the Wild.